My name is Kathryn Dickinson, and I was born in Meridian, Mississippi, and my father was a United Methodist minister, and my mother was a teacher, Christian educator, and they met at Candler School of Theology in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was 3 and a half when we moved from Mississippi to California because my father signed a document, a pro-civil rights document called Born of Conviction. And one of its major components was freedom of the pulpit to speak for what one believed in, and the injustice during the racial discord and during the 60s.
My name is Joe Reiff. I am a religion professor at Emory Henry College, which is in Virginia's United Methodist School, and I'm also a United Methodist minister. And so I started this project working on a book on the Born of Conviction statement signed by 28 ministers, white ministers in 1963 Mississippi. The way I got to know Kathryn was that as I proceeded in this research, I first interviewed all of the surviving signers, but some of them were deceased, including her father. And I had actually interviewed her mother in 2004. Her mother had told me about the play. So that's kind of what led me here.
I think the talkback for the audience will provide an opportunity to explore and to learn more about the history of the Born of Conviction document, also the history of the people who lived through it. I think that talkback will give opportunity for people who have been involved in this project to learn more also. I think that the talkback might reveal there might be questions about, did this really happen to you? And for me, historical memory has really come into play here because almost everything in the play, in the 1960 story, is either based on something I know happened, something I have written, some documentary material, or memories that I had.
You had a hand?
Yeah, I don't know if this is completely an answer to Ann's question, but I think, well, Mississippi was the poorest state.
Yeah.
And it also, it's one thing I remember from my American history is that that region was really settled in the 1840s, 1850s. It wasn't like Virginia, which was settled, 200 years before that. And it was where the sort of mechanization of the select plantation system was what was primary there. There was no previous tradition. But I do think it really is a reason why they had such a brittle sense of their society, like cast iron.
Right. And what you said reminded me that the state of Mississippi had a higher higher percentage of black population than any other state. But I think that's part of it. The black population was higher there, and so it was like, we got to keep these people down. What I've thought of several times in seeing this is a quote from William Faulkner, a fairly famous Mississippian, said one time, "The past isn't dead, it isn't even past." And I think this play illustrates that about as well as any play I've ever seen. So, thanks for that. Thank you.
Now, next question is for Kathryn. What impact do you want this? Do you want the Born of Conviction to have on viewers, on audiences, when they see this? What do you want them to leave with?
That's a good question. I think what I would like to do is open up a conversation about race and religion in America. I mean, I would consider this play a success if I provoked a conversation. And it has provoked a lot of around the table conversations, so that would be my hope.